Yes, and fear is really, gosh, it is. It's such a powerful emotion that can really
Oh yeah.
paralyze us if we're not careful. I
Right?
really,
Lies for sure. Absolutely.
and one of the things that's really big right now online, actually, I was on Twitter this morning and I was seeing just all this debate about working moms and kids. And so, since it's kind of a hot topic, and I believe the Wall Street Journal just published an article about it, I want to sort of talk about the part of your book where you talk about
Mhm.
balancing motherhood and career and just how you felt about both and you gave both equal importance and sort of how you were innovative and figured out a way to make it all work well. And I just maybe if you could share some tips for other working moms out there.
Yeah, yeah, you're right. That is a big topic on X right now. And it's interesting. So, one of my grandfathers on my mom's side, he was very traditional and it was very fascinating. So when I went off to college, he basically told me that there was no need for me to go to college at all. And then I even remember on my wedding day, he said, "Oh, well, now you get to quit work." And so that's kind of the mentality I grew up in. So I very much understand, and I've seen that personally. And what I realized very quickly when I had was pregnant with my first, I started observing and talking to other moms that had young kids in the office. And what I noticed is that a lot of them were really exhausted. And I took a step back and I'm like, wow, how do I do this differently? And what does that look like? And so I created what I call and looked at enablers because, okay, I was going to go to work. Did I go back full time or part time? Because that was an option then. I could have chosen a part time schedule and had a job share partner. And so I thought about it a lot, and that's what I chose to do is have a job share partner. And then in terms of, taking the kids to a daycare center or having someone come to the house to watch them at home, that was another what I call enabler. I chose to have someone come to my house on those 3 days a week that I was working instead of taking them to a daycare. And one of the things I noticed is a lot of times daycares won't take kids if they're sick. So, and that happens a lot. It's like this chicken and egg.
Wow.
You take them to the daycare, they get sick because there's all these kids there, and then you can't take them there, and then you need a backup plan. So I was like, well, I'll just have a babysitter come. And and then there's other enablers, which the book talks about as well. So it's like, okay, I really felt then on those 3 days I was going to go to work, I had the babysitter come early enough so that I focused on me getting ready and she could focus on the kids. And if they were sleeping because it was, when they were younger and there was no preschool, great, they could sleep. So I have to say, huge relief for me and a great load off my mind. And I only lived 2 miles from the office. That was intentional. I did not want to have a long commute that could be very unknown, especially in winter weather with snowstorms or accidents. I wanted a very known short
Sure.
commute because I wanted to spend my time with the kids and be a mom. So
That's
those are
awesome. And I'm sure it was
examples.
great for the kids because they didn't have to go anywhere. They stayed in the comfort of their home. They knew they were well taken care of. You had the peace of mind of
Yeah,
knowing who was
yeah.
taking care of your kids and that they were in their own house. And
And
yeah,
so
that is
their
awesome.
last babysitter was there for 10 years and then she actually had kids of her own. So then and they were
Oh,
getting older. So it was a very nice transition. But I looked at it as, wow, the more people that love my kids and them having like a quote second mom, how great is
yeah,
that for them? And so,
that's
yeah,
awesome. And I
yeah.
think we should mention that all of you have three boys and they're all grown up, healthy, and thriving.
I know. So
Because
now it's hard to believe. My youngest is 20 and then 22 and 25. So it is hard for me to believe that they are definitely all adults now. And yeah,
yeah, so anyone listening, if you're a woman especially, it can be done. Takes a little creativity and commitment, but it can be done.